Police say they arrested 21-year-old Derek Jones at his home yesterday and charged him with 3 counts of murder after shooting and killing 3 men at random.
Three men were stalked and killed after getting off buses in West Oak Lane.
Police say they arrested 21-year-old Derek Jones at his home yesterday and charged him with 3 counts of murder after shooting and killing 3 men at random.
I'm glad they found the guy, even though that don't bring my son back.
He was the best. He was the best. That's all.
21-year-old Derek Jones under arrest, accused of murdering 3 men at random after following them on Septa. Police say on June 28th, just before 10:30 p.m., Jones followed 20-year-old Zamir Bryant Cyrus after he exited a Route 16 bus. Then he opened fire on him, killing him near Broad Street and Shelton Avenue, a block and a half from his home. Cyrus leaves behind a 2-year-old son.
I'm glad they found the guy, even though that don't bring my son back.
Janice Bryan says she lost another son to gun violence in 2017. She and his grandmother say they will never get over this.
He was nice. He would do anything I asked him to do. It really, really broke my heart. It hurt me real, real bad.
On July 7th, police say Jones identified his next 2 victims after following 20-year-old Justin Smith and his next-door neighbor and best friend, 21-year-old Taheem Tucker, from a Broad Street line train to a bus, ultimately shooting and killing them on 68th Avenue in West Oak Lane, a short walk from their homes.
He was the best. He was the best. That's all.
Smith's father says he talked to his son a few hours before he was killed. His son playfully joked that he'd fall asleep before he got home. His son never walked through the door.
I argued with him about working the late shift because that would keep him out of the street.
When police raided Jones's apartment Thursday, they found a handgun matching the casings found at both scenes, 76 more bullets, and clothing likely worn during the shootings. Investigators say the evidence is clear. The motive is not.
That is the burning question. Why? But we have not established any connection between any of our 3 decedents and Mr. Jones.
Investigators think Jones could be involved in other crimes. If you have any information, give police a call.
Derek Jones, the 21-year-old suspect that police say got on a Septa bus and trains in the past 2 weeks and randomly hunted down and executed 3 passengers, should have been in jail rather than out on a killing spree. That's because when Jones was arrested as an adult on January 14, 2009, and was hit with 3 gun charges, he was already on probation as a juvenile, after he had twice entered the equivalent of a guilty finding in 2 previous felony cases. But as what typically happened under District Attorney Larry Krasner, Jones, a suspect with a criminal record who was facing a gun charge, pleaded guilty in a negotiated plea bargain with the DA's office and got a sweetheart deal, a sentence of 11.5 to 23 months in jail plus 2 years probation. Jones wound up serving only 11.5 months in jail, court records show, before he was released on house arrest. A seasoned prosecutor who reviewed Jones' record, however, said that under state sentencing guidelines structured by the state legislature, Jones, because he was a previous offender on probation, should have gotten a sentence of a minimum of 3 to 6 years in state prison. Instead, the seasoned prosecutor said Jones got a generous plea bargain that the DA's office under Larry Krasner routinely gives out to 95% of the cases when somebody with a previous criminal record is charged with a gun crime. This is why the state legislature is investigating whether DA has committed a dereliction of duty as grounds for impeachment, said the seasoned prosecutor who requested anonymity. Larry Krasner refuses to enforce the law. That is exactly what the state legislature is talking about when it comes to the DA failing to enforce gun laws already on the books. The plea bargain that Jones got from Larry Krasner's office is so far outside the sentencing guidelines that you've obliterated the guidelines, the seasoned prosecutor said. And when a dangerous criminal is given a light sentence, you're always taking the chance that he will go out and commit more crimes and victimize more people. The 3 Septa murders are the logical resort of Krasner's policies, and according to police, there may be more victims as they continue to investigate Jones as a possible serial killer. In a press conference today, homicide captain Jason Smith said that a SWAT team executed a search warrant yesterday on a first-floor apartment at 6971 Forest Ave in West Oak Lane and took Derek Jones into custody. The police found in Jones' home a .45 caliber Glock 21 pistol with an extended magazine and 31 live rounds, plus an additional 76 live rounds. In ballistic tests, the gun found with Jones matched the bullets and the casings recovered from 2 crime scenes where Jones has allegedly killed 3 young men. The police also recovered from the apartment clothing believed to have been worn by Jones during the commission of the murder. A police source said that the clothing included a lime green vest typically worn by highway construction crews. Jones has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. The motive is unknown, Smith said. That is the burning question. Why did Mr. Jones murder in cold blood 3 males? Why he marked them is anyone's guess, Smith said. This is a total random act of violence. We may never get to the bottom of it and find out why. Jones, who had 4 prior arrests, 2 as a juvenile and 2 as an adult, was currently on probation from the 2019 plea bargain as an adult where he pleaded guilty to gun charges. The suspect, who lived with his grandmother and younger sister, refused to provide a statement. At 10 p.m. on June 28th, police said Jones got on a Septa bus and got off on Broad and Cheltenham. He proceeded to run up behind Zamir Cyrus, 20 years old, another passenger on the same bus who had gotten off at a previous stop, and allegedly shot him several times in the chest and the neck. Cyrus, who was packing a 9mm gun that he never got a chance to use, was transported to Einstein Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police recovered 6 .45 caliber fired casings from the crime scene. 9 days later, at approximately 10:30 p.m. on July 7th, Jones, again riding a Septa bus, got off in West Oak Lane and shot Taheem Tucker, 21, and his neighbor Justin Smith, 20, multiple times in the chest and the torso. Police said that the shootings took place on the 1900 block of 68th Avenue, just a block from both victims' home in West Oak Lane. Both victims, who police said were coming home from work, were pronounced dead at the scene. Neither had a criminal record. Police said that once again, Jones had boarded a Route 6 Septa bus, the same bus as his victim. Tucker and Smith got off at 68th and Augance. Jones got off 1 stop later at Augance and Haines. According to police, he stalked and murdered his victim. Police recovered 13 spent .45 caliber cartridges from the crime scene. There weren't any signs or precursors to these random acts. Captain Smith said, why Mr. Jones chose these 3 individuals is really a burning question. Smith said that a SWAT team was urgently searching for Jones because only 9 days had elapsed between the 3 murders. The amount of ammunition captured with the suspect, Smith said, credibly fueled suspicion that Jones was out to kill more people. Asked if it was possible Jones had previously committed other murders, Captain Smith said, we're currently just looking into that possibility. Sources say homicide detectives are looking at multiple unsolved homicides that involve stone-cold killings to see if Jones was responsible. Asked if police were dealing with a serial killer, Smith said that it was definitely a possibility. He added that Jones already fit the FBI's technical definition of a serial killer, which is somebody who murders 2 or more people. Jones' arrest record begins on March 23, 2017, when at the age of 16, he was hit with 28 different charges, including multiple counts of robbery, conspiracy, aggravated assault, simple assault, reckless endangerment, disorderly conduct, and harassment. On March 28, 2018, the DA's office under new DA Larry Krasner withdrew 26 of the 28 charges. Jones was found to be an adjudicated delinquent, the equivalent of guilty, on 2 first-degree felony charges conspiracy, and aggravated assault. On April 11, 2018, he was 17 years old. Jones was arrested again, charged with manufacture, delivery, and possession of drugs with the intent to manufacture and deliver, a felony, and intentional possession of a controlled substance, a misdemeanor. In court on January 14, 2019, when Jones was 18, he was found to be an adjudicated delinquent on the felony charges, and the DA's office withdrew the misdemeanor drug charge. Later that same day, on January 14, 2019, Jones was arrested yet again, this time as an adult, and he was charged with criminal mischief, receiving stolen property, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle in connection with a stolen car. He was also charged with 2 felonies, possession of a prohibited firearm and firearm not to be carried without a license, plus a misdemeanor charge of carrying firearms in public. In a negotiated guilty plea for both adult arrests, Jones pleaded guilty to receiving stolen property, possession of a prohibited firearm not to be carried without a license. He was sentenced to 11.5 to 23 months in county jail with 2 years probation. As part of the plea bargain, the DA's office dropped the charges of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and carrying firearms in public. The plea bargain also called for Jones to get immediate parole after he had served 11.5 months, when he was released from county custody under the terms of house arrest. On April 17, 2020, Judge Sierra Thomas Street denied a defense motion for immediate parole because of the COVID pandemic. On November 19, 2020, Judge Perez approved the defense motion to modify the terms of Jones' house arrest to allow him to go to work.